So hey YouTube, what I'm going to do in this video is show you my experiment to try to accurize this Crosman 362. It seems like 40% of the time it throws a flyer for no reason that I can figure out. So I started thinking about it. What can I do to experiment? And what I found out was this screw right here was quite loose. So I just removed it and then shot the gun. And shooting it 50 yards, I didn't think it improved anything. And I found out the screw was pretty loose because it's stripped. So I ended up using a little bit of Teflon tape, jammed it in a hole, threaded it in, tightened up the barrel. So I just got done testing it in my shop with the barrel tight and then with the barrel loose. And it actually seemed to shoot a little better with the barrel loose, but it'd still get a little bit of a flyer here and there. So my reasoning, they must have put it there for a reason. Seems like most guns, or it seems like with firearms, they like to have a free-floating barrel, but they're also not having a pumping arm. You know, there's more going on with this air gun. So I'm thinking, well, perhaps with this not being able to be snugged down, maybe some kind of stresses are building up when you pump it so many times. And then you shoot it, and it's just something's wonky. I don't know. But anyway, it's easy enough to experiment with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this screw, remove the whole top half, pull the barrel and receiver out of the gun. And then I'm going to drill this hole out and use a different screw. And I just so happen to have a bunch of little grub screws. So looks like they're called a plug screw. I think it's a 6x48. I think I'm gonna end up using this one. And that's actually bigger diameter than here. And I'm just gonna drill it. And because it's soft plastic, I think it'll be able to thread right in, bite into the plastic. And then I'll have a tight screw again. And then I can go test it and see how it shoots. So away we go. Okay, so here I am at the next step. I've got the barrel and receiver assembly removed. What I like to do is I just have a magnet, and what I have here is the breech screw that went, well, I guess it's the receiver screw or whatever, I don't know, it's the end of the breech. The transfer port, I've got my transfer port there. That's the little grub screw that was holding the end of the barrel down. All right, you can see the difference between the two of them. There's the one I'm gonna put in, and that's the stock one. You have a drill gauge that's got all the holes, and then what I can do is set it in here, and let me do that with both hands. But I'm just making sure it doesn't fall through the hole. I need it to thread in. Actually, I'm going to do the 31 because it's plastic. I want to make sure it threads in since I don't have a tap. And we'll see how this does. So number 31 drill, and let's get drilling. Okay, so I just finished drilling this out. I just used a hand drill. We're not building satellites here or pianos. This isn't that critical, I don't think. Maybe I'll find out the hard way. Let me find my little screw, and let me get it threaded in. And this will take me 2 hands. I'll show you the results. Okay, you guys can learn along with me. I just ended up having to up my drill bit size. I told you guys I used, that just because it happened to be the screw I had, I used the 32. Well, I couldn't, because I'm trying to drive that grub screw in with a flathead, it's a flathead style, which sucks. It kept tipping, so I ended up checking my holes again, and I just drilled it out again with a 30, and I'm hoping it'll seat a little better now. So let's see what happens. Can I do this? Okay guys, so I ended up changing what I was doing. This little grub screw wasn't quite long enough to fit. To protrude through the plastic. So I ended up using this other screw right here, and that one works better for me. And in case you're interested, what I ended up using. Yes, that's so old. It says Bob Brunel Industries. I think it's just Brunel now. It was one of these short ones. It was a 6x48. I don't remember the length, but it was pretty short. So anyway, let's get this thing back together and maybe have enough time to shoot it tonight still. Okay, there's the finished product. You can see how that screw protrudes up a little bit, but it's still out of the way of the front sight, which was what I had concerns with. Everything's back together. Let's go take this out and shoot it. Oh, and I did notice, because I loosened, this breech has the 3 screws. I loosened these screws up when I put everything back together and retightened everything. So hopefully it all found a new happy place. So let's see how it does. Okay guys, I just got done testing it out and I shot 4 different types of Crosman pellets. I started with the hollow points, but unfortunately this is a different tin than what I had earlier that was doing really well. And then I went to the domed Magnum, Ultra Magnums. Then I switched to the destroyers, and these were by far the worst. I think I'm just going to use these for chronograph tests. They're just too inconsistent. And then I went to the heavies, and these did really, really well. And then I went back to the domed because I thought these did really, really well. Then I had one flyer, so let's go check it out. So here's the hollow points, doing okay, and then I have one over here. Switch to the domes. You know, compared to the hollow points, they all stayed in the black. I'm getting to the point now where this is getting to be me, how well I can hold it on the center, even just from 25 feet. And then inconsistency with the pellets I'm starting to notice. Destroyers they're garbage. I won't buy any destroyers. Maybe I'll try them in some other guns to see if they work better, but they don't like this gun. The heavies, I mean, it's kind of a mixed toss-up. Oh, and these are domed as well. So I was doing amazing with the domed, and then I had that flyer second shot. Don't know why.
Don't know.
Could just be the inconsistency with those pellets. Maybe when I was sorting them. I just look at the skirts, make sure they're not deformed, and perhaps I missed one, so that explains it. But anyway, let's go compare this target. So now that my barrel is tight, and this is how it was originally, would have a flyer. It was not, and this is actually using decent enough pellets, but yeah, the stock screw just wasn't holding it good enough. Seemed like there was movement in there. Then I took the screw out. You can see how it did better, but I'd still get a flyer. And I know you might think, well, those look really good. The problem is I tried with the screw removed at 50 yards, and it was not as accurate as with the screw in. So I would say if your screw's tight and didn't strip out, then I wouldn't do anything. But if you are having a problem, check your screw, and if it's loose or you try to tighten it, it strips out. You might look at putting in a different, larger diameter screw to get your barrel tight. That's what worked for me. Okay, guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.